Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. Alhamdulillah, we meet again for our second class today. After last time we have discussed about the main topic. We cover all chapters. We took some tour the whole semester from science topic to mathematics topics. We have 5 chapters each, and hopefully by now you have the idea, the overview about what's going to be in the whole semester in our subject. Okay, I hope that you can alert your friend to enter our live session. Okay, for Fatia, actually I do look into the request, but yet to found Fatia names. So maybe something happened with her settings, because Mia just now I can approve very easy. I can see that you are requesting, but for Tia zero request. So meaning maybe Tia belum request ke, ataupun setting Tia FB dia yang ada problem, ataupun mungkin dia buat terlalu private so and that's something questionable jugalah, sebab saya dah check tadi. Sebab tu saya bagi tahu dalam group, saya kata mungkin dia kena klik join tu ataupun dia punya FB dia sendiri sebab kosong tadi, dalam request hanya ada nama Mia saja. Okay, luckily that this live will be recorded and saved, and so that's the function of having FB live, as easy to save the session. Okay, we're going to continue, because if I try to look into the request, it's going to be very hard. Even so, I think this is a public group, saya rasa kelas ni public, sepatutnya bila public dia boleh view. Saya try view tengok sekejap wait. Okay, welcome back. Sorry, bila saya try to go for another page, it's logging out from the live session. Okay, if you are still here with me, can anyone say something? Anything? Okay, just to ensure that the live is on actually. Okay, kalau kat sana boleh dengar apa yang sedang saya cakap, boleh respon dan sebenarnya kita dah ada lagging sikit lah. Okay, alright. Okay, tadi saya dah check, kebetulan saya try juga, Shirin ada. So Shirin yang mungkin join letter daripada Tia tadi pun saya nampak. So Tia mungkin dia ada setting yang dia silap buat dah. Okay. And so sorry for the interruption there. Okay. Saya tak boleh nak approve during the session. Saya kena log out dulu dan log in balik. Okay, try lah minta Tia dia do something about her personal FB account tu. Intro to Science. Let's look into our first chapter today. This is your notes. I hope you already have with you and have been written, translating. Alright. Definition. Kita nak cover definition. Oh Allah, sorry. Something wrong with the camera. Okay. Alright, hopefully that's better. Definition on science. Kita nak tengok apa itu science. What is science? And as I asked you to do last class, search for the information and get to know, refresh what is science all about. Okay, and I believe that you guys already well versed with the topic, because most of you are kindergarten teacher. You have done with the teaching, just to add up some very important element and content that you might be improving in your teaching. Okay, as to have the basic of science, science is actually the easiest way to understand it, that covers in your syllabus, primary school last time or secondary school. It's shows the meaning of study the natural phenomena. Study the natural phenomena. The easiest way to understand what is science. And if you have this basic idea, so you can explain science very well, at least to the preschoolers. And maybe you can elaborate more if you know what kind of natural phenomena happening surround you. Okay, nak cerita pasal apa itu sains secara asas ni ialah study. Selain bermaksud belajar, study juga adalah kajian. So, mengkaji tentang natural, semula jadi fenomena, kejadian alam ni. Okay. Kata mudah dia, kajian tentang kejadian alam semula jadi. So, what happens around us is a part of the natural phenomena that we look at it, observe, and then later on we use our thinking ability and try to search for the answer of certain question. Normally, the question would be the W and the H, and 5W and 1H2. And what is the name of that phenomena? Where it happened? When it happened? And then maybe which process that involved, and who found it first, for example, and who involved in it, how it happened. So all this question is a part of the way that the scientists use for studying all the phenomena happening and surrounding us in our environment. So when you do that kind of researching, discovering, that's called science. So science ialah apabila kita cuba nak mencari jawapan di sebalik persoalan kenapa, bagaimana, macam mana, bila, di mana, dan segala jawapan tadi adalah consider sebagai scientific facts, fakta sains. Secara mudah lah. Okay. For example lah, if in the normal class we ask, who knows what happening around us? What are the natural phenomenon that you might encounter? Macam maybe the movement of the sun and moon, okay, the rotation of night and day, the formation of rainbow, the cycle of water, how the rain drops happening, and so many more. Terlalu banyak kejadian alam yang telah pun saintis buat kajian, kita belajar daripada kajian tu. And of course your job as a teacher to explain it to the children. So hopefully by doing that, the children become interested to learn more about the science. Hopefully that is your target and purpose. Okay. Alright, good. So let's look into the upper level to understand science in the diploma subject ni. Science is a journey of exploring the creation of universe and the law of nature. Okay, highlight. Saya bagi 3 poin kat situ. Journey of exploring, perjalanan untuk menerokai. So penerokaan dalam perjalanan tersebut dipanggil sebagai sains. Apa yang kita nak terokai, iaitu creation, penciptaan universe, alam semesta, the law of nature, termasuklah hukum alam tu. Alright? So 3 poin kat sini. So when you are starting the journey, when you start to do the process of learning, and that's considered a part of the scientific steps. And what are you exploring about? The creation. What are the creation? Everything. And yang kita faham hari ini, segala yang kita nampak adalah penciptaan yang ada di seluruh semesta ni. So, segala benda yang ada, semua kita rasa terpanggil untuk buat kajian tersebut. Kita nak discover what is that. Macam kita nampak satu kejadian, kita rasa macam, apa tu? So, manusia akan start mulakan kajian dia. Bila mengkaji, menerokai, menjelajah tadi, maka banyaklah penemuan dia. Penemuan tadi tu dikatakan sains. Dan dalam penemuan tadi tu, sains mendapati, the scientists found that every single creation, a bit or come together within them is the law of nature. Peraturan alam, hukum alam tadi. Apa dia hukum alam tu? Contoh, macam mana hujan terjadi dari dulu sampai sekarang, itulah prosesnya. Bayangkan kalau hujan dia berubah, kan? Kejap hujan lebat, kan? Kejap hujan mungkin kiri ke kanan, kejap hujan naik ke atas, kan? Tiba-tiba dari cerah ke hujan. So macam mana kita nak buat ramalan kaji cuaca tadi? Alright? Okay. Tu mungkin nampak macam biasalah tu, it happen sometime, kan? Kejap hujan renyai, kejap hujan. Tapi that's consider that we can predict. Okay, this is hujan. Katalah hujan tu jadi dengan cara lain. Bukan air. Batu ke, hujan tu jadi dengan cara daun-daun banyak ke. Jadi kepelikan kita untuk memahami apa ni hujan. Right. Sama juga macam kes manusia. Kejadian manusia yang tumbuh daripada kelahiran bayi kepada kanak, naik jadi remaja, lepas tu dewasa, mungkin ada yang belia, muda dan sebagainya. So kita faham that is the process of human growing. But let's say it's have different kind of law for every human being. So what happened? And some people might born as a baby, some others suddenly become an old man. And macam cerita Benjamin Button, so if you have seen it, and so they make some unique idea that there are people born in this world, in this case, lahir tua, bila tua makin membesar makin jadi muda, dan makin ketua tiba-tiba jadi budak kecil pula. Science want to show that if it happen like this, how you want to deal with the living and the process of living. Macam mana nak hidup ni kalau tanpa ada peraturan yang tetap. Okay, hopefully you get. Alhamdulillah, Fatihah dah masuk. Okay, good. Alright, let's continue from that. Okay, continue from the definition of science. It's also referred to the study of physical or virtual of the environment object. So, apa yang kita nak tambah lagi dalam science ni? Selain daripada creation tadi, ada dia punya elemen dia, seperti physical. Benda-benda yang kita nampak, yang boleh kita pegang, sentuh, rasa, ataupun bau, kan? So sometimes we can use that to attract the children. Kita bagi dia pegang kayu, beza dengan pegang batu, lain pula dengan besi. Ataupun kita bagi dia beberapa jenis binatang yang mungkin ada yang berbulu, yang mungkin ada yang bersisik. An example lah. And then maybe pokok, kita ada buah, kita ada daun, kita ada bunga, kita ada sayur, kan? And so many more things that in front of you that you can see it, and you can touch it, you can feel it, you understand it's in front because it's tangible. Tangible meaning benda tu nampak jelas. Maybe the shape, ada yang oval, ada yang round, ada yang circle, ada yang sphere, maybe cylinder, kind of the same of circling things or surrounding things, but there are different kind of shape. Ada square, ada rectangle, ada diamond, maybe ada cube, ada cuboid, alright, and and so many things else in front of you. Compared to virtual meaning you mungkin nampak tapi things that so far from you. Contohnya macam matahari, bulan, bintang kan. We still study even though they are very far from us. No one ever can touch and feel and the sun or the moon, walaupun mungkin ada jugalah yang sampai ke bulan. Tapi bintang, meteor yang kat angkasa tu, alright? Ataupun dekat bumi pun kan, bukan semua benda yang kita tahu kita pernah pegang, pernah nampak jelas depan mata. Sometimes it's a picture, a video tape, and someone tell us a story. So that's kind of study that made by those scientists and explain it to us, and we try to visualize. And sometimes we can see through the picture, to the drawing, and video is nowadays is clear, and that you can see whales, shark, and at the ocean, in the sea. How come you can be in front of them, kan? Okay. Or even mungkin benda tu depan mata kita tapi tengah kita nak pegang, macam harimau, mungkin ada singa yang dibela kat zoo, panda ke kan. Mungkin sebahagiannya boleh kan, tapi nak bagi tahu yang ada benda yang kita lihat secara virtual saja, compare tu ada juga yang bentuk fizikal. Ini pun adalah sebahagian daripada sains yang berada di sekitar kita, sekeliling kita, environment kan. Apa lagi yang ada kita nak buat kajian, is up to us to do it. Alright? Any questions so far? If you have anything, you can just chat there, so I can see your comment and make some elaboration on your inquiries. Okay, continue from that. We have other kind of definition. Add up more. Sebenarnya, sometimes one thing can be defined in many ways. So we learn all of this to ensure that we cover a broad range of ideas. Okay. Ada juga yang study interaction among chemical and biological component. So dalam badan kita sendiri pun nak pergi jauh-jauh kan, kita ada chemical and biology. What mean by that? Chemical, kimia, biology is living things, benda hidup. And let's say we are talking about something that inside us. And what is the biology inside us? Katalah makan, when you eat food and you chew, that is physical tadi. So the biological chewing food is coming, or the action of your teeth, and then you have your tongue to taste, and then suddenly at the same time your saliva starting to be produced or secreted, kata sains, terhasil, dirembeskan, and that mix with your food, and together it break down the food. And if you remember what is the enzyme inside the saliva, okay, this is chemical. And then you swallow your food, it's go through your what's that, the organ? Anyone remember the organ? We call esophagus. And the physical things happening, which is the process of peristalsis, relaxation and contraction of the muscle. Kita telan tadi tu, dia bergerak ke bawah hasil daripada proses peristalsis tu. Ada chemical itu, kata saintis, no chemical lah. Dia hanya satu pergerakan saja. Nama dia, biologinya namanya esophagus. Sampai ke perut. Okay. Namanya perut, stomach. And then in the stomach there are some other thing relate with chemical, which is the gastric juice. Sebab tu orang yang sakit perut dia panggil gastric, sebab perut menghasilkan jus yang dipanggil jus gastric. Gastric juice ni ada enzyme, ada acid. So both of them have their own function. So this is the relation between chemical and biology. Same goes to the tree. For example, if you look at the tree, you can see that the tree produces gas. So that is the chemical produced from the tree. And at the leaf, ada juga produce at the bark, dekat dahan dia atau dekat batang dia, macam getah, chemical tu. Sebenarnya bahan kimia dia. Buah pun sebenarnya adalah hasil daripada chemical process produced by the tree. Okay, and then the biology is the things, the name, the physical look, and or the surface of the tree itself. Ada yang kasar, ada yang lembut macam daunnya. That's the thing that you should add up to your knowledge, so that when you explain to the children, they know, oh, there are a lot of things in science that are very interesting and attract them to learn. Hopefully that's what you're going to show to the children. And I know you have all the ability to attract them in your own way, and add up the attraction in terms of the information and content related with science, because later on we would want to see why we need to study science, other than this is the worldly knowledge. It might be some relation with the hereafter. Okay, last one I think for the definition, involve active field in scientific investigation. So untuk kita menjalankan penyiasatan sains, memastikan, we want to prove that this research study valid, sah, and reliable, boleh diguna pakai, dependable, betul kajian ni. Because maybe some people do make a lot of research, but what if the research have a false result? And so they need to go through specific scientific investigation steps. So apa langkah penyiasatan? Ingat lagi belajar kat sekolah dulu. And among those, dia ada banyak lah. If you search in the Google or you have your books, sometime some books says 5, some others maybe 10, some others up until 20, maybe the specific one. But manual in your school, standard from the scientific and science department, they put out 9 for Malaysia lah. At least we understand that there are 9 steps. The concept is you need to know that there are several steps. Okay, first starting with identify the problems or identify the things that you want to investigate for. Number 2, you want to give some ideas, we call hypothesis, assumption of what is actually you see from the observation. And then you go to the planning, experiment. You nak plan macam mana nak buat ni, what is the variables, okay? We remember that we have manipulative, we have control, we have response. And for those who listen to me and feel that what I'm trying to say and explain is very hard to understand, or you are still blur because you already learned it before, please go back and take science book, open it, try to find time to read it, at least the simple one. Okay, after planning experiment, you have carry out experiment, jalankan. Sebab tu kita dekat sekolah dulu kita ada buat eksperimen, kita kenal pasti radas. Lepas tu kita pun okay, tuang ni masuk ni and so on. Itu masa kita buat eksperimen. Ada jadi, ada juga yang ke laut lah. It's okay, and that's the part of process learning. And then maybe after that you collect data, okay, what you get from those experiment, and analyze data. Is it what it's supposed to be, or what you assume it, or different from what you expect? And later on you might give some ideas like conclusion, showing the result. Last one, maybe you make reports whether the hypothesis that you predict, is it happening or actually the other way around. Okay, get it? I hope so. Okay, so far no more